Thank you, everyone, for joining us. So glad you came out. I really appreciate it. We all do. Welcome to the Hijacking of Healthcare presentation by Physicians for Freedom. Physicians for Freedom, for those of you who do not know, is a physician-led organization, membership open to anyone who shares our mission. And that mission is the factual, rational, and respectful debate of issues. Note that there's no topic restriction. We need more debate that is factual, rational, and I would even say compassionate for anything any topic, any issue, if you're going to have a self-governing society. We are an entirely donation-supported group. And don't make me beg for it. I'm just going to say this once. There are QR codes, I think, available, and the ladies at the front desk would take donations. Please help us with your generous, patriotic support. We are nonpartisan. We're strictly promoting what is necessary for self-governing people to succeed. And that is the only way to get to liberty. If we discuss respectfully, factually, and we welcome disagreements, that's how we arrive at the truth. And if we have a mutual understanding of the truth, then we have peace. And only with peace can we achieve liberty. So that's the connection. I had to turn my phone off. Sorry, I had a phone call. So please give us your generous support along with your patriotism and encourage debate with others. That's one thing each of us can do. Okay, let's do some opening credits. Thank you, first and foremost, for attending tonight. Thank you, Badger State Brewery. I think this is a pretty awesome venue, so thank you. I also think the food was great. That was courtesy of Beebles, so thank you for the food, Beebles. This event is being video recorded by Brandon at Motion Works Media. Brandon over there. Thank you, Brandon. Which means that it will be available at some point online. So we want this to be shared. I want to also thank Steve Schrader and Shannon Charles for the Schrader Show. They helped us promote this leading up to this event. And also with us here tonight, the one and only regular Joe Gigante. He is here. Thank you, Joe. And his producer, Charlie Kipley, and of course, Casey Schumacher, the creative enigma, part of Joe's staff. Standing right in the midline there is Doug Reich. Doug Reich is the chairman of the Brown County Republican Party. There's Doug. I just have to say, after last year, there was a lot of support, volunteer hours, a lot of interest, and financial support. And this year, it just seemed to evaporate. And we've seen it in volunteer organizations like PFF, and we've seen it at the party level. And we can't do that. And if you all knew half of what I knew, that saying, clean up in aisle 5, what Doug and the local county party have done to clean up a mess on the GOP side of the aisle, as well as opposing some of the craziness on the other side of the aisle, I can't say enough about him. We're very fortunate to have him, so please support him, thank him, talk to him. He's here tonight. Also, in PFF, in Physicians for Freedom, we have the Wonder Twins, Angel and Annie. It's actually Angela and Andrea, but we just call them Angel and Annie because they're interchangeable and they do everything. So I want to thank them. And then the rest of us, and Chase. Chase is our IT guy. I got to say, Chase, if you can't beat him, meet him. He's our IT genius, so I want to put a shout out to them. All right. Thank you. I want to give you a preview of what we are offering tonight. So, after my introductory comments, we're going to have Dr. Scott Weslow give his talk. That's the main featured talk. And then after that, we'll do a quick break. And then Dr. Brian Woodbridge will be on for a quick talk. And then we're going to go to Q&A. We should have more than an hour for Q&A. So that's what's happening. Now, why? Why are we doing this? You know, I got into medical school in 1983. And I've been in medicine for about 40 years. And when I first got into medical school and in residency, relatives would say, well, what do you think of healthcare? And I had no idea what to say. When you're in your 20s and you've been in school your whole life, you don't know anything. But what do you tell people? So I said, it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. I think anyone could have seen that. And I was right for 40 straight years. But one thing I did not anticipate was how bad it could get and how it would get bad at an accelerating rate. Things have gotten really bad. Not just from the patient point of view, but from the provider, the doctor point of view. So when you've been living in a problem, both, because remember, doctors are patients too. If you've been living in the problem, your everyday work, and you see it broken for so long, and you see year after year of supposedly unsustainable health insurance premium costs going up, after a while, it's pretty natural to think this is not a solvable problem. If this were a fixable problem, it would have been fixed. We've been hurting long enough. There's plenty of motivation to get it fixed. Why isn't it fixed? So I think what sets in is this kind of chronic resignation that we're just stuck with it. And the only thing that can jar us out of that is pain. If we have enough pain where we're just not going to take it anymore, that's our way out. And so the purpose, the why of us being here tonight, couple of main points. One, if you think this is not a fixable problem, you are wrong. Get that thought out of your head. You've got to believe that this is fixable. We're not foolish enough to ask you to take our word for it. Tonight, we are going to show you first how broken it is. It's going to make sense how it's broken, in what way it's broken, so you can see who's responsible for breaking it and keeping it broken. And then we are going to show you not how it could hypothetically someday be fixed. We're going to show you how this system is being fixed. We're in the process of fixing this system, not globally, not nationally, not in some grand way, right here in Northeast Wisconsin right now. And if you the purpose of this is not to entertain and inform and have a nice night out. Hopefully it's all of that. But we want to persuade you. We want to motivate you. We want to activate you. And by the end of tonight, when you leave here, we want you convinced that it can be fixed, have a clear idea of how, and best of all, what each and every one of you can do to start that process. This is our launching of this plan. Later, we'll have another event probably September, more focused on employers who play a key role, but we'll get to all of that. So that's what this is all about. And if you need any motivation to attend carefully and challenge us, listen critically, you'll have plenty of time in Q&A to ask questions and get clarification. But if you need motivation, just ask yourself, who do you want to be responsible for your life? Who do you want to be responsible for your children, your grandchildren, if they suffer, if they're hurting, to help them to achieve wellness? You want it to be the government? Insurance? Any corporate entity at all? Can it be anyone else but you? It can't be anyone else but us. So start from that point, and hopefully we can connect the dots so you'll arrive at a clear idea of the how. And with that, I want to introduce a good friend, good patriot, superb physician, Dr. Scott Westlow. And come on up, Scott. Scott knows me well enough that I sometimes have trouble shutting up. And this is more Scott's deal. You need to attend to just Scott. So this is not just symbolic.
Dan, yeah, so Dan likes to talk, and so he said, oh, I kind of want to make your talk a conversation between us because people understand and learn more that way. I said, no, Dan, I'm giving the talk. The conversation's for afterwards. So thanks so much for bringing the duct tape, buddy.